Math 2, Section 2.6, first day here. I am at another meeting today, so you are going to be watching this video. Clearly, if you start to understand the pattern and you want to move on, pause the video and then do whatever you need to, well, work on the math and then come back, fast forward and check and make sure that everything's correct. That's fine. We're doing a lot of drawing and coloring again today, so there may be some downtime in the video while I'm drawing and coloring. Feel free to stop it again and complete your own coloring and then fast forward and check your answers. Or there may be times when I'm going too fast for you. Again, please pause the video, rewind it, listen to it again, whatever it is that you need to do. Any questions you can ask me when I return to class on Wednesday. We are starting on page N32. You can't see it down here on the bottom. Let me see if I can get up there. Oh, there it is, N30, so just page 32, actually. And all of this, sorry about the wiggling around there, all of this we are going to do on page N32. You will have to refer to this writing here, but we're going to be doing all of our drawing on the graph paper. It's a bit easier to draw these squares. Oh, actually rectangles now. Here's what happens is that Optima in her quilt shop realizes that she doesn't always want to make squares, and she's going to allow her company to produce rectangles for her customers. So everything that we draw now is a rectangle. And we're going to start here on number 2, where the original square block was extended by 3 inches on one side and 4 inches on the other. So again, I'm going over to the left to page N32. Trying to get this situated so that you can see everything here. And we are going to start with number 2, where the original square block was extended 3 inches on one side and 4 inches on the other. So start a bit down here so that we have some room to go up. Let's start here. And there's again our original square, x by x, whose area is x squared. I'm keeping the same color scheme throughout. If you would like to change up your color scheme, that's fine. Then we extend by 3 inches on one side and 4 inches on another. So here's 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches on one side, and 4 inches on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. By putting those strips on again. And just like before when we did these with squares, each of these strips is 1x in area. At this point, we see that we do not have a rectangle. We have this L shape, and we need to complete off this rectangle. And we'll have to complete off this rectangle by going here. Now, in the past, or in the last few modules, we've gone through and drawn in all of these verticals and horizontals here to get all of these squares. But we can start to see that, all right, what is the area of that section if I don't actually line out all of the squares? Let's see, this way 4 wide, this way 3 tall, so the area in here is 4 times 3, or 12. So rather than drawing all those individual blocks in there, we're just going to put the whole area of that green section as 12. Side of this rectangle now is x plus 4. And this side is x plus 3. And there are two different ways then to represent the area of that rectangular block. We could just add up all of the sections. We have x squared plus 3x here and 4x there. That's 7x plus 12 of those little individual blocks. So there's that area. We could also represent the area by just length times width, or x plus 3 times x plus 4. So just like we did with the square quilt pieces, now we're doing rectangular quilt pieces, and it's still the same thing. You can add up all the individual areas and get this representation, or you can multiply the length times width to get that representation for area. Let's look on over at number 3. And you're going to have to look at the page next to you, and it says the original square block was extended 4 inches on only one side. So let's take our original square block, x by x, so its area is x squared, and we extend by 4 inches on only one side. You can go on any of the sides. I don't have room to go up, so I'm going to go here. There's 1 inch. So I'm putting these strips on. There's the second one. There's the third and the fourth. Again, side length this way. Well, this one's just x. Nothing was added on there. This one is x plus 4. So here's our original square block that we start with, and then we've added on 4 of these strips. Each of those strips has an area of 1 times x, or 1x. So the area here is, if we just add up all the individual areas, we have x squared plus 4x. But if we look at this as a rectangle and finding the area as length times width, that would give us x times x plus 4. Number 4. And reading the page immediately to your right, it says the original square block was extended by 5 inches on each side. Ooh, we're going to have to start this one down pretty far so I can fit 5. One, two, three, four, 5. See, I told you there was a lot of downtime while I was drawing. Here's all these individual strips being put on. X plus 5 on the sides. All right, I'm going to go back and do our coloring scheme. That original x squared block gets red. Then all of our 1x in area strips this way. And again, this area here, we could go through and draw all of these and get all of our individual blocks. But rather than doing that, let's just do this whole thing because we know what the area of that whole piece is. Do you know it? Fill it in if you think you know it. You should get 25. 5 here times 5 there, 25. So our area could be written as, oops, didn't mean to do that. Where's my whiteout? Could be written as, if we sum all the pieces, x squared plus 5 10x plus 25. Or we could say x plus 5 times x plus 5, which is x plus 5 squared. So this is something that we would have done last unit, kind of bringing back one of those pieces. All right, last one down here, number 5. Again, if you're getting this pattern and you want to go ahead and pause the video and stop listening to me draw this and just draw it yourself, that's perfectly fine. Please do so. Just fast forward in a little bit and make sure that your answer matches what I have here. Those of you who are staying, the original square block was extended 2 inches on one side and 6 on the other. My original square block. Here's 2 inches on one side and 6 on the other. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Yep. There's the original square block. Here's all those little bitty squares. Did you figure out yet how many little bitty squares there should be? 6 this way, 2 this way, so yes, 12. Hopefully you're starting to see some patterns here with the extensions, and then how we get these number of yellow strips from that, and then that number at that end, that 12 in this case. 2 ways to write this area. We have x squared plus 2 here, 6 there, 8x plus a 12, or here x plus 2 times x plus 6. If I'm going too fast for you, please stop the video, rewind it if you need to, pause, do something so that you don't feel quite so rushed or get panicky. Let me put that back in here. And we are going to move on to page N32. Oops, I'm sorry. We were just there at N32. I'm so sorry. We are moving on to page 33. This is all the way down at the bottom. You can't see it, but it's 33 down here. It starts up at the top with customers start ordering custom-made block designs by requesting how much additional area they want beyond the original area of x squared. Once an order is taken for a certain type of block, customer service needs to have specific instructions on how to make the new design for the manufacturing team. The instructions need to explain how to extend the sides of the square block to create the new line of rectangular blocks. The customer service department has placed the following orders on your desk. For each you are to describe how to make the new blocks by extending the sides of a square block with the initial side length of x. Your instruction should include diagrams, written descriptions, and algebraic descriptions of the area of the rectangle in using expressions representing the lengths of the sides. Oh boy. Your instruction should include diagrams. That's telling you we're going to have to go to page N33 for diagrams over here. Written descriptions, kind of like what they did over here on page 32. The original square block was extended by 4 inches on one side. And algebraic descriptions of the area of the rectangle and using expressions representing the lengths of the sides. So area of the rectangles using expressions representing the lengths of the sides. So we are going to be area using lengths of sides. So something like this. Okay, this is the area of the individual sections. This is the area using lengths of sides. Let's go back to page 33. When we look at this big long list that customer service gave you to figure this out, these, the 5x and the 3x, those are the area of those added on strips. Five on one side and 3 on the other side. On one side and 3 on the other side. This part over here, this 15, that's the area of the little blocks. And this x squared, you should recognize that. That's the area of the original square. With that information, then, we can go to page N33, and we are going to draw that diagram. So I'm going over here to page N33. N33, and we're doing number 6, which said x squared plus 5x plus 3x plus 15. The 5x and the 3x tell us how many strips are added on to each side. I'm going to start maybe here. Oops. There's my original x squared block. And we're adding 5 strips on in one direction and 3 strips on the other side. So, see, I can't fit 5 up there, so I can put the 3 here. And we're going to put the 5 here. Completing out that rectangle, so we'll just draw this piece. All right, what's the area of that big piece over there? Come on, what is it? Say it. Yep, 15. Were you right? Huh. 5 times 3. Gee, I wonder where that 5 and that 3 came from. So when we look at the area here, kind of what happened, so we go back to the directions, and I don't want to move my binder, but your instructions should include diagrams. So got it, there's our diagram. Written descriptions and algebraic descriptions of the area. So written description, what did we do? We extended one side by 5 inches, and we extended one side by 3 inches. Area, if I put all of this together, so I combine these like terms right here with what we started with, it's x squared plus 8x plus 15. But they really, I want you to write this, but they wanted descriptions of the area of rectangles using expressions representing the lengths of the sides. So just like we did on the previous page, we need to write this as lengths of the sides. This side is x plus 3. This side is x plus 5. And we have x plus 3 times x plus 5. Okay, now what I would like you to do is to please, in a moment, you're going to pause the video. You are going to do this same process that we just did right here with questions 7, 8, and 9. Questions 7, 8, and 9. After you're done with 7, 8, and 9, please turn the video back on, and I'm going to put my answers up here in a moment, but you have to pause this first. You have to do this yourself. Then I'm going to put this back up here, and you can check your answers. I mean it. Pause the video right now. Pause it. Didn't pause it yet. Okay, welcome back. There's the answers for 7, 8, and 9. If you need to pause this video so that you can get this information down, or if you made a mistake to check a little bit quicker than what I have up here, that's fine. But you do need to check those. Hopefully through this, you're starting to see some patterns between the numbers here at the back side of the parentheses with this number here at the back, and then also those numbers at the back side of the parentheses with the coefficient of that x term. So here, this 9 and this 2, how do we get that 18? The 9 and the 2 to that 11. The 6 and the 4 to the 24. The 6 and the 4 to the 10. Seeing some patterns there, hopefully. All right, almost done for today. Would you please flip up to page 35. On page 35, your day 1 homework for section 2.6 is to do page 35, questions 1 through 13. Also, on page 36, 27 to 35. This is the homework that is due on Wednesday. Page 35, 1 to 13, page 36, 27 to 35. Thank you very much. I hope that you paused the video appropriately and fast forwarded when you needed to, if you were understanding this and it was getting old, so to speak. Thank you. See you Wednesday.